Hello wrestling fans and welcome to the main event, Highspots TV.
Highspots TV is the wave of the future, folks.
Highspots TV, don't forget, please, don't forget, you called the shots here, people.
So crazy, make me so crazy. Does it make you crazy?
See.
Folks, that's correct. Instead of just looking through thousands of hours of DVDs and VHS, we can bring you the matches you want.
You can see the match at Highspots TV. Yo!
And I know that WWE is a sore subject, and you
Not
said
really.
that it's still a possibility. But would you go back to Raw, or would you prefer SmackDown?
I would do whatever, just because business is business, you know what I mean? But I would imagine, considering the way things are now, if I was going to go back to the WWE, probably the most marketable match in the wrestling business right now, the hottest match would be me versus Edge. And if I was going back, that's what they would want.
But would you want it?
If it was good for my career and business, I would do it.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know. In the next month, I'll know. I may be with WWE again. I may be with TNA. You know, there's definitely TNA is something like they're kind of there's some stuff set up to do there, but WWE still is a possibility right now. Okay. So, and then I'm busy. I'm just doing stuff everywhere. Like even between now and November, I'm just slam packed, just all over not only the United States, just I have stuff. Overseas tours in England and Australia and some stuff in Japan, just a ton of stuff coming up. Okay. I'm not a huge Johnny Ace fan myself. I've had several altercations with Johnny. I think Johnny is you know, Johnny is I don't know, he kind of changes day to day. You know, especially what he's saying, like, you know, he might say lose 20 pounds. Oh, we should gain 20 pounds. It's just, to me, I just think like if you feel comfortable being bald and looking like you look, go with that. You know, it's just like you can't really you can't change what you are. Right. You know, you have to be the best you can be, but you can't really change what you are. Right. You know, and it's just, I don't know, man. That's part of the business that sucks. You know, politically, there's nothing you can really do about it. You can just meet everyone else, and there could be a scenario like, take for instance, Daivari, Sean Daivari. You know, he'd come around. He's a super nice guy. He just did jobs, TVs. You know, they're looking to do this Arab deal, and they go, "Oh, well, what about that one guy? He, you know, looks Arab or seems Arab. He's Persian or whatever he is." And just out of the blue, they said, "Well, give him a call. Let's check him out." You know, they said, "Oh, he's a decent worker. He's okay." Da 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 da. That's how you got a gig. You know, if there happened to be something come along where everybody is familiar with you, and then they say, "Well, you know, we need a bodyguard for so-and-so." If we had somebody that was bald-headed and big and that'd work, say, "Hey, what about that guy in North Carolina? Remember him?" Said, "We could use him." Sometimes it's just like luck, man. You know, just like, you know, they're looking for somebody to fit a particular character.
Just keep putting yourself out there.
That's all you can do, you know what I mean? So and you can try and kind of work towards what they're saying, but like, to me, like with Johnny saying that, a lot of people have said that to me. Like Johnny'd say, "Well, no, you should grow your hair out, you should do this," and they tell Shannon Moore 50 different things all the time, and that's not why he's not getting a push. He's not getting a push because you're not giving him a push. You know, he's good. You know, and it's not because his look needs to change or whatever, but it's just, you just have to kind of decide what you roll best with and what you're most comfortable with, and try and go with that, is what I think. And if they're reasonable, but you can't, I think it's pretty unreasonable, it's unreasonable to say, you know, well, you know, you should grow your hair out, and then like a week later say, well, no, you should shave it back off. And then a week later say, you should grow a long beard. You should lose 50 pounds. I mean, just to change stuff every week, that just seems like they're having you change it just for the sake of changing it.
What was your reaction when Jeff was released?
It was sad. You know, it was disappointing just because I wanted to see Jeff do well, but Jeff's kind of at a point in life where it's not really him. He hates the schedule. He hates being gone all the time. Jeff's definitely a homebody. He loves being home. And the main thing at that point, I was just more worried about, you know, it was disappointing because that was his dream to always be there, but I just wanted to make sure Jeff the person was okay and wasn't as worried about Jeff the wrestler. Yeah, well, the original reason I was off TV for so long is when I actually had knee surgery. Just wear and tear just over the years, not one specific incident. and I just had total reconstructive surgery on my left knee. My ACL, which a lot of athletes' ACL is torn, mine was actually just gone. There was like nothing in there. Like I would step and my knee would actually bend the other way. So the brace that I have over there that I'm still wearing on now, like I wore that and that basically got me through like the last 4 or 5 months. I was just like, I had nothing in my knee to support it, so except that brace. So between that, they went in and, you know, they take a third of your patella tendon and just build another one. They graft another one and build another ACL in there. And then my meniscus, which is on the inside, about over 50% of it was torn. And they actually scoped out about 25 or 30%. And they tried to suture some of it back to save some of it. Just to, I'm going to have arthritis bad as it is anyway, but you know, just so it wouldn't be quite as bad. And then my also on the inside, my MCL was torn, which they don't really do anything about that. So it's feeling okay right now, but it's just, you know, your body's not built to do this, really, you know, to be slammed on wooden steel. And you know, if you do it for a long amount of time, I mean, you're definitely going to see the consequences of it later in life, you know, and I accept that. But with that being said, too, I also say you only go through life once, you know, so if you're going to do something, you might as well go ahead and give it a shot. I mean, there's a lot of different levels. I mean, I love wrestling Chris Benoit. Like you get in the ring with him. Like one thing about there's some guys, I'll say it like this: some guys you'll get in the ring with, and I'm one of those guys. When you can go out there and you can do entertaining stuff where it's not always so physical. But you know, if you get in the ring with Chris Benoit, you're going to be busting your ass that night because he only works one speed and it is past full speed. You know, and there's one match in particular with him that I had, which I'm sure you remember because I think you're up on matches here as you were before. It was actually in the U.S. title tournament where he broke my nose in it, and we probably had a 15-16 minute match, but that was about halfway through there. I just remember my eyes were watering, I could only half-ass see, and I had blood coming out of my nose and my mouth at the same time. And it's actually my nose has been broke 4 times. I'm gonna have to get a fake nose like Michael Jackson before it's all said and done. But you know, I know he broke my nose, and it was just very hard to breathe. And then just with him too, it's like just so intense because it feels like just a real fight. Oh, there was also one time a pretty tough match is when I was wrestling Brock Lesnar. It was the main event of SmackDown one time, and the segment before we actually did a thing where I hit him with a chair, and his ribs were hurt, so I actually kind of hit him a little higher than his ribs, but I actually split his head open all the way to the skull. And he wasn't too happy about that. And Brock's a pretty bad dude, and we came back and he was furious, and we didn't even speak before we went out to the match. And I just told Shannon, I said, I have no idea, Shannon Moore, who was in my corner, I said, I have no idea what's going to happen when I get in that ring with him. I said, but if things happen, I'm just going to fight for my life because we're on live TV. And I'm going to try not to be killed. And everything it was pretty stiff on both ends, you know, as far as that goes. It was pretty physical, you know, but everything in the end turned out okay. You know, killing it, you know, on the hardest WWE schedule. I mean, when we first started, we would do like 10 or 11 days on, have 4 or 5 days off, you know, and then be gone again. But then sometimes you'd have, you know, 20 days straight if you'd have an overseas international trip or whatever, you know, and then come home for a couple days. And then more regularly, they've kind of settled into a schedule of working, you know, 5 days and then home for 2. You know, so that's kind of how it is now. But sometimes, you know, you have international trips once again, or be gone for a while, where it's 20 days. But you know, it's hard. It's like, you know, it was cool because for the longest time, like I traveled with my brother when he was there, and then you know, I also traveled with my girlfriend for the longest time. You know, so things, you know, things were cool on that end. But it is hard, man, especially when you have a family at home because you're gone a lot. And that's why families have a lot of trouble in the business too.